Okay, so I'm just going to look at doing a railing on a curved or spiral stair. So I'll start with the stair tool, and I suppose I'll save it. Okay, so then using center end spiral. Now, the first thing I'll recommend when you're making spiral stairs, unless you are very familiar with the options for spiral stairs and you know that you want a full step spiral, in most cases, you would use the other option, which is center end spiral. So that generally should be the option that you use. So again, center end spiral. And so with that, you need to give the center of your stair. Bring the cursor out so that you can see the flight. As always, you should be looking at the riser count in properties. So on the left there, you can see it's 22 risers. So we can have a maximum of 18. So I'm just going to do that. And then also you can see there it's got run left. So that means as I bring the cursor out, you can see there my cursor is on the left-hand side of that flight. So with the inner radius there that I was after, I'll click my start point. So you can see there the inner radius I've got at 400. If you wanted to have a post, you would just make that inner radius much smaller. But when you have a smaller radius, there's a greater chance of the stair needing to wrap around and go over itself, which is not a helpful thing for planning. If you can have your stair so that it doesn't go over itself, you find it's much easier to make that stair work with the planning that you have from the level below and the level above that you're going to. So again, the bigger the radius, the greater chance you have of not having the stair go over itself. Is again, as I bring it in, you can see there that it's starting to wrap around too much and go over the start of the stair. But as I bring it out, there's now a gap between where the stair starts and where it begins. I was saying where it ends. And then as I bring it out further, of course, that gap becomes bigger and bigger. So again, I'm going to get a reasonable gap there so I can see the beginning and the end of my stair. Having done that, you still then need to bring it around to let it know how many steps you want in this flight. So again, if they've told you you can do your full 22 in one flight, I suppose you can do that. If I was a design teacher, I wouldn't be recommending that, but again, that's up to them. So, but I am going to put a landing in mind. So I'm going to stop it at 14, or sorry, no, I'll stop it at 11. I'll keep them even. Oh no, so let's make a landing that's a bit higher so that you've got a chance to get some headroom under it maybe. So I'll make it, let's say 16. That might be good. Okay, so that's the first flight. And now I want to make another flight that continues from the previous one with the same curve. So to do that, I need to give a center point again. So I'm clicking on the same center that I did for the first flight. Then you'll see if you bring your cursor around to line up exactly with the end of the first flight, you can see there as I bring it out, if it's not in line, I get a straight landing, which I don't want. I want it to be curved just like the stair. So if I bring it down enough so that it's in line, notice how now it's got the curve following the curve of the stair, and that now is the landing. You can see that it's giving me a preview of. So I'll click there, and there's no way, unfortunately, of getting an exact measurement for that landing. You just need to do it by eye, and you can adjust it afterwards. But I'm happy to just do that by eye for now. So I'll click when I want the where I want the start of my next flight, and then bring it around even further to get the last remaining, 6 risers in there. Okay, so that's made my stair. So then while I'm making the stair, I can go to railing up here. And then the one that person had used in the other video was the 900mm pipe. And that's it. I'll click OK. Tick to finish. Okay, so now I'll go to my 3D view. And there it is. I might just bring the section box up a bit so that you can see the whole thing. Okay, so maybe even a bit higher. And then I'll just hide my floor. I'll just hide a few of these other things up here. Okay, so then you can see the whole stair. Maybe we'll just bring the section box up a little bit more so that you can see the whole railing as well. There we are. Again, you can see that railing will do a pretty good job following the stair. Right, so if you already have made the stair and it doesn't have a railing, you can always add it afterwards. So I'll delete this. Now, if you do want to add your railing to a stair that you've already made, you need to delete all of the railings first. So I've deleted both sides. And so now I can go to the railing tool and choose place on stair ramp. And then over here, choose the same one, 900mm pipe. I'm going to put the same one back on again. Right, and there we are. So notice how when you go to use that tool, place on stair ramp, if you try to pick a stair that has a railing, you can see there it won't let you choose it. And that's why you have to delete all of the railings on a stair if you want to make a new railing by using that place on stair ramp option. But otherwise it works pretty well. Right, so there we are.
So you made a precast, not a stringer version. Is there any difference with the railing, or it will be the same?
No difference to the railing. Yeah, no difference. So that's the precast one. If I change it back to one of the assembled stairs. Why is that taking a minute? There we are. Okay, so this one has a stringer, but the railing still works the same way.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, no worries. So I'll finish that.
Do you think without landing, it will work the same way? I'll try. I'll try now.
Even easier. With the landing, you can see here it looks a bit odd where it goes onto the straight landing. Weird. Yeah. So that's a bit of a problem in Australia because we have such strict controls for stairs, much stricter than almost any other country.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
So we can't do those nice DNA stairs or anything because they don't comply with their controls. Unfortunately, it's all the nice stairs I saw on Grand Designs this morning. If anyone saw that, they had a brilliant episode this morning. If anyone got to see it, where they had at least 3 or 4 beautiful stairs that I would love to do in my own designs, but all of them had things that would not comply in Australia. Of course, that was from the UK version. So even there, they've got more generous controls for things like stairs, and so they can be a bit more creative and do things like, stairs. What am I doing there? Stairs without handrails and things like that, which we can't do. So, and again, the landings, they don't have the same requirements as we do. Lucky for them, but unfortunately that's what we're stuck with. Circular sofa. Yeah, if we get time, I'll definitely look at that. But just remember, you can make them virtually the same way as what I showed you.